As we wait for the final decision from the House, local public TV and radio stations are preparing in the event that their funding is cut. Jaden Urban joins us live in the studio now after speaking with some of them today. Jaden, how do they say this would impact them?
Well, for KUNR and PBS Reno, it roughly will take about 15 to 17% of their total funding. So while they will get to keep the ship afloat in some capacity, there are some rural stations that rely on it much more, but it will still make it difficult for all of them because the losses will still be somewhat significant.
This is a very serious situation, and we are beyond disappointed.
Local public TV and radio stations tell us they are bracing for the impacts of the rescission package in Washington, D.C. That could total about $7 million in federal funding lost across the entire state. PBS Reno says the cuts will account for more than $1 million.
Now, that's not a huge portion of our PBS Reno budget. We raise 83% of our annual operating budget from the community.
Misha says they will plan to raise more money and feels like they'll be okay, but other organizations will have more legwork to do.
And so a number of stations, especially in small communities, rural communities, tribal communities, are really going to be in a hard spot.
Misha says he knows some stations where 50% of its budget is relying on federal funds. This especially will be for stations that don't have a commercial news station near them, like ours. For those who don't know, public broadcasts don't make money from commercials. They either raise their own funds or get grants to help them operate.
We're talking about educational content. We're talking about emergency alerts. We're talking about local news. And those are some of the things that are very, very vulnerable for those small stations. That's why that federal money, that kind of the seed money, that base money, is so very important.
KUNR is another one that will be impacted. Brian Dugan, the station's CEO, says the funds are about 15 to 17% of the total, depending on grants. It comes out to about $350,000 a year that will be lost.
We will go into basically red alerts, all hands on deck fundraising for the foreseeable future to make up the difference. But of course, we are contingency planning. There could be hard decisions that need to be made in terms of staffing, in terms of programming.
Both stations say they have felt a lot of support from Nevada Senators Jackie Rosen and Catherine Cortez Masto, along with Congressman Mark Amodei. Senator Cortez Masto says she is frustrated with the fact that this money was already approved for public broadcasting in the last budget appropriations.
This funding was already appropriated by both Republicans and Democrats through the appropriation process that we do in Congress.
And like we mentioned, we are awaiting a vote in the House, but if it is passed and the president signs it on his desk, then the cuts will go into effect in September. Covering the story, Jaden Urban, 2 News Nevada.